Hello everyone, hope you guys are doing well. We had some slight tech issues with our Zoom, so we switched platforms. So right now we are on a Facebook Live, so let me know in the comments section if you are here with us right now, so I can just know who's here, who's live, who's joining us. Yeah, just give me a quick hello in the comments section. So that I could see who's here, and then we'll get started. So once again, welcome everyone to week 3, parent partnerships. Let me know in the comments section if you're here. Give me a quick hello, just say hi. And then we are going to get started. Hey! Jennifer, what's up? Good to see you. Hi, Carrie. Hey, everyone. All right, awesome. Well, let's get started. So, for those of you that have not joined the first 2 weeks of the EC Leadership series, this is week 3 of our series. Next week, we're going to be talking about culture and environment. So this is week 3, parent partnerships. So, just tell you a little bit about who I am for those of you that are new and this is your first week in joining. My name is Connie Olshansky and I'm an early childhood leadership coach, and I help school leaders build a school of excellence. And these are my 4 kids. Little baby is actually 5 months now. So I started my career a little over 11 years ago. I started working in Preschool of the Arts, which is a Reggio-inspired preschool in New York City, in Chelsea. Then I left Preschool of the Arts. I went to pursue higher studies and got my master's in early childhood and special education. And a little over 2 years ago, I started my own company, Discover Ed, where I've had the privilege of working with hundreds of school leaders from all over the world. So it's been an incredible journey. Also been lucky to be featured in all different media. Last week I was actually featured on NBC Radio, which was incredible. I've been able to meet people like Simon Sinek and Todd Herman and just really wonderful people. So it's been an incredible journey and it's really just begun. So I'm excited to be here with all of you today. So let me go over what we're going to be talking about today. Today's a really short one. The last 2 weeks we were a lot longer. Next week's also going to be in depth. This week is a lot shorter. It's just super sweet, straight to the point. So today we're going to be talking about the system to get your teachers on board with parent relationships. We are going to go over the scripts to email and get on the phone with parents. And we're going to be talking about the different parent archetypes. So let me know in the comments which of these resonate most with you. Hey, Lisa! Hope you're doing well. Hi, Trish. All right, so let me know in the comments section which of these are you most excited to learn about. So quiet. All right, I got to hear from you guys. I need to know that I'm not talking to myself. So let me know in the comments which one of these are you excited to be learning about. The system, the scripts, the parent archetypes. Trish, getting teachers on board with parent relationships. Awesome. Okay, so let's get started with what the parent archetypes are. So there's 4 parent archetypes, and I I created these parent archetypes and just how they make sense and how they work together. It's just a lot of different moving parts here. But to name the different parent archetypes, there's the parent archetypes that's the caregiver, there's the explorer, the jester, and the thunder. And these 4 different parent archetypes show up in different ways in our classrooms, in our hallways, at parent meetings, at events. You'll have a mix of these archetypes. And what's really important to understand is, number one, it's important to understand like who is which archetype, what the archetypes are about. The other piece that's really important to understand is also different parents. Every parent makes up a little bit of each one. And then we show up in different ways, you know, in each archetype. And it's really important to understand how each parent's showing up, you know, at different times, like when they're coming in, when they're giving excuses, when they're being defensive, when they're being in denial, when just any time. It's important to understand what archetype is being shown at that time. And so understanding the archetypes gives you so much more than understanding, and an advantage to really be able to help the parent and not just be there and saying things like, oh gosh, this parent again, like, you know, I can't figure this one out, you know, I can never get through to her, all of that. Okay, so Carrie says getting on board with parent relationships, parent archetypes, getting teachers on board, the scripts, the parent archetypes, awesome. Yeah, okay, so these are the 4 different kinds of parent archetypes. So how do the archetypes work, okay? Every parent has a little bit of each archetype. And the power of knowing them is to understand at any given moment, how is the parent showing up now? Are they being the thunder? Are they being the jester? You know, how are they showing up? And then you can really know how to respond, right? Because that is just like super powerful to understand how they respond, how to respond to the parent. Like if the parent's being the jester right now, how are you able to respond? So the actual little mini training on the parent archetypes is going to be something that we are probably going to be releasing to live event attendees after the live event, just to help them understand a little bit more of the parent archetype. So again, if you're interested in signing up for the live event, could check out the link below and fill out an application. So you'll be able to dig into that on your own on just more about the archetypes. This is just like an overview of understanding that these archetypes exist so that you can understand how to help the parents. So let's talk about bank deposits, okay? Going to the bank with a check is great, right? But direct deposit is the best because you don't have to think about it. Your check always just gets directly deposited into your account. And what we want to do is we want to set up a direct deposit system to fill up parents' emotional bank account. Because if you are not taking the time to consistently fill up the parents' emotional bank account, that is where huge issues happen, right? So I talk about this a lot, how to consistently fill teachers' bank account with teachers' appreciation and gratitude. I spoke about that a little bit in productivity, and I'm going to be talking about that a lot more next week in culture and environment. But with parent relationships right now there needs to be a system where you fill up a parent's emotional bank account, and it has to be consistent. It can't just be, every once in a while you tell them something. You have to consistently be pouring into their bank account. Hey, Darlene. Yeah, thanks. So tell me if this makes sense about the emotional bank account, and if you've ever taken the time to think about, well, how am I training my teachers to fill up the parents' emotional bank account? So let me know in the comment section. So again, let me know in the comment section what like how this resonates about filling up the parent's emotional bank account. Awesome. Hey, Stephanie, great point. The topic of enriching parent interaction is a topic of discussion in our program. I don't call it an emotional bank account, but that gives a great visual. Yeah, using the concept of a direct deposit, of a bank account is super, super powerful. We all are, you know, most people are visual learners, so explaining that in that context is super powerful. Jennifer, yes, my staff builds great relationships, but often misstep in difficult situations because they can't read the parents. Yes, that's where, number one, understanding the archetypes, and number two, Dr. Diaz, who's one of our guest speakers at the live event, she is going to be talking about, number one, how to read body language. Number two, how to respond when you have the abrasive, the emotionally unavailable, the in denial, the defensive, the, you know, the parents that, the couple that, you know, doesn't see eye to eye and they're arguing in front of you about, you know, which, like, you know, one of you is on your side, one of you is not on your side. Like, how do you deal with that? And not just how do you deal with that, how do you train your teachers how to deal with that? Because they're the ones that have to have the conversations, right? And Dr. Diaz is going to be giving you the entire roadmap. I am so excited for her session. It's going to be epic. So she's going to be talking about that at the live event. Darlene says, great way to look at it. Teachers are better able, can understand when it's phrased this way. Yes, indeed, Darlene. Thank you so much for sharing that. Lisa, we talked about getting to know the parents' names, active listening, encouraging them through challenging parenting moments. Yeah, and it's so important to, like, say these things, but what Dr. Diaz is going to be explaining, and Lisa, you actually are going to have access to Dr. Diaz's blueprint, you know, because you're going to be part of the inner circle. She explains how to actually do that. Like, what do you actually say? When to pause? How many minutes in do you do this? Like, you gotta have a blueprint. You can't just tell the teacher, do active listening, be nice, be kind, you know, be careful with your voice. Thanks so much. Blah, 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 blah. Like, that doesn't mean anything. Like, you need to break it down. There's gotta be a plug and play system. So, Mr., you're speaking over me. I have to compete with you. That's not good. Tell parents good things when it happens that day. Trish, it's a great way to think about it. We try to always have something positive to say in each situation. Yes. But what's also important to remember, this is something that Dr. Diaz is going to be explaining, is that there are things that you're supposed to say that are positive, and then there's also how do you say it without sugarcoating it too much. Because, you know, I'll just give you an example. I worked with a director who was prepping a teacher for a difficult parent conversation. And she was talking to the parent about this child who was hitting a lot. He was constantly hitting other kids, like he was really hitting a lot. And it was an issue. He was hitting kids, he was hitting teachers. And so the director was, you know, trying to explain to the teacher, you know, trying to phrase everything nicely. So the teacher explains to the parent, you know, we love Ben, and, you know, he, like, these are all the great things that he does in the classroom. One of the things that we're noticing is that he uses his hands a lot. And we really want to work with him on this. And she kept saying, like, he uses his hands a lot. Anyways, the next day she follows up with the parent after the conference, like, you know, I just want to follow up on, like, what our action plan is. So the dad responds back and he's like, you know, I didn't really understand, like, why you gave us an action plan. Like, you know, what's the big deal? So our son, you know, is really dramatic. He uses his hands a lot. So the mom came to pick up and she was like, you know, we didn't really understand your email. Like, why were you, you know, creating this whole action plan if he uses his hands a lot? So she's like, you know, because he's hitting other children. So she's like, you didn't say he's hitting other children. You said he uses his hands a lot. We thought you meant when he talks, he uses his hands a lot, like what I'm doing right now. He's very enamored when he talks. So the teacher's like, what? Like, you thought that that's what I meant? And the parents were like, yeah, like, you said he uses his hands a lot. So that is the biggest problem in being positive and phrasing everything in a positive way. you have to also be direct, and you have to say it in a way that's obviously not hurtful or condescending or mean, but you have to be direct. You can't just tell a parent, you know, he uses his hands a lot. So that was just like a really great example. Okay, Ashley, hey, we do what's known as the sandwich method. We start with something positive, then address the concerns, and then we end on a positive note. Yes, so everyone is familiar with the sandwich method. You have to know how to use it correctly. So starting with something positive, it has to be specific for that child, and specific to that type of parent. So a parent is very defensive and abrasive or whatever it is, there's a very specific type of positive comment you want to make. And then when you share the concern, how do you share the concern? Do you say it specifically? How is your tone of voice, your facial expression, your body language? How much do you say? And then when you sandwich it afterwards, what do you sandwich it with? Does it show that you're just covering up, or are you really being authentic? And then how do you lay out the plan? So you know, here's what we want to move forward with. Like, the teacher has to know how to lay that out. So while the sandwich method is a very classic method, it's so important to understand the nuance of using that method. And having the script is one of the most powerful things that you can give a teacher. Darlene, relationships are key. This way of looking at it is awesome. It's so much power. Yes, awesome. Lisa, yeah, totally like laughing out loud. Like with that story with using the hands, it was like epic. I was like, oh my gosh, like that's exactly why teachers need to know how to be direct also, and not just, you know, sugarcoat everything. Okay, awesome. You're so welcome. Okay, Boomba, let's move on. Okay, you, my friend. What are we gonna do? It's funny? It's not. You're talking over me and I can't teach. Okay, so my PP plus B parent partnership blueprint, okay? So how does it work, all right? So step one is, this is like what you would do with your teachers. Step one is print out the parent roster in your class. So every single teacher should have the parent roster available to them. Let's try to put you in here. Let's see if you'll be happy. Let's see if you'll be happy in here. Yeah. Okay. Step two is take out your calendar, and the teacher decides what day of the week and what time block, typically around 15 minutes, to use the PP plus B formula. Okay, so she prints out the roster and she decides, okay, every single Thursday at 8 p.m., I am going to look at the parent roster and see when was the last time I reached out to this parent. And she sets it up as a recurring reminder on her phone. It goes up every Thursday at 8 p.m. That's the time that she has decided that she's going to be reaching out to parents. Step 4 is map out all the kids in your class. So for example, Sam, Sarah, Beth, and Andrew are going to be on the first of every single month. So the first week of the month, these 4 kids, I'm going to focus on them that week so that I know what to tell the parent and what to write and what to say to the parent. So for example, the blueprint that is going to be available in the Vault. So for anyone that signs up for the live event, you're going to get this blueprint of how to write the email, how to have the phone script, what to actually say, right? So, for example, we have a sample email script. This is taken out of the Vault. This is one of the sample email scripts. So, dear Blank, I hope you're well. I just wanted to share with you something beautiful that I saw Jordana doing today in the kitchen center. When a child wanted a specific pot that she was using, she shared it with her right away. What was even more special about this is that she did it so happily. I just wanted to share the good word and looking forward to seeing her again tomorrow. Warmly, and the teacher's name. When a parent gets an email like this once a month, you are consistently depositing into their emotional bank account. There's a relationship there. So when you need to use the sandwich method, you have got so much reserve in that bank account. The parent trusts you. She knows you. She likes you. She trusts you, that you are that trusted advisor. You're not just that teacher that does the sandwich method when you need to say something to the parent, but you are the teacher. You're the advisor. You are their, you know their kid. Every month you tell them something beautiful about their child in an email that's personalized for them. You love my kid. So when you're sharing this with me and you think that there's a concern, I trust you. You really think and you have my child's best interests in mind. It's not enough to just pay lip service to, we're on the same team and I have your child's interest in mind. You have to put money where your mouth is. So the money is emailing, and there's so many other ways also, which we, share in the script that's available in the vault. There's so many different strategies. This is just one of them, of consistently pouring into the parent. All right. Awesome, Nicole. Barbara, at the beginning of the year, we let parents know that we're here to partner them. We'll make sure to give them the praise of their child as well as their concerns. Our parents seem to really respect that. Yes. So we could say that in the beginning of the year, but parents, just like teachers, need reminders. So just like you tell teachers in the beginning of the year, you need to be on time every single day to school. This is the dress code. You need to submit your newsletters every single week at 2 p.m. I have yet to find a director that has never needed to ever follow up with a teacher on the rules that she laid out in the beginning of the year. Because that's not possible. We're all human. We all need follow-up. Parents are the exact same way. It's not enough to tell the parent on day one, I love your kid. I'm going to be here for her. I have their best interest at heart. You have to show them. You have to demonstrate it, right? Just like it's not enough that your husband tells you on the wedding day, I love you, sweetheart. I'm with you till death does us apart, right? He has to tell you, I love you every single day. It's not enough to say it once on the wedding day. Like, that's what do you love me anymore? Like, so it's the same thing. You've got to be consistent about it. Awesome. So yeah, let me know in the comment section if this kind of blueprint of how to do it, what to say, the script, the phone script is something that is of interest to you. In the meantime, I'll just share with you some comments from our directors in the Inner Circle. My teachers have been emailing parents weekly, and it has strengthened our relationship with them on so many levels. Good morning. Just wanted to update everyone that I had the parent partnership meeting with the staff. One thing I found valuable was how Khani gave thinking questions for the staff to answer. This made them part of the process instead of me just telling them what to do. So one of the things that I give you in this blueprint is I give you questions to ask the teachers so that you can get their ownership and their buy-in to this new concept, because this is a new initiative. And if you want to get their ownership, you got to ask the right questions, because I'm all about getting the buy-in from staff. So that's a big piece that we talk about in the blueprint as well. Awesome sauce. Okay. All right, so let's talk about some of your next steps. So we covered a lot today. We spoke a lot about the different parent archetypes, the parent partnership blueprint, all of those different pieces. And you could take a lot. You could start seeing results in your school. I had a director email me just yesterday who told me that she's been watching the first 2 weeks of leadership training, and she's already seeing results in her school just from the first 2 weeks of leadership training. But here's the deal, and I say this all the time. If you want to get out of the cycle, you need to create new habits. Because good intentions never replace the right skills. So saying things like, oh, I'm going to try this, or oh, I'm going to do better at this, it never replaces the skills that I teach at the live event. Because being a leader requires a different skill set. You need to have the right skills. So at the EC Leadership Live event, we're going to be mapping out the year in 2 days. We're going to be talking about what the theme of your monthly staff meeting should be, how to structure your calendar so you're consistently motivating your staff, how to create standards, right? Not a, BS 450-page handbook, but actual standards. Like, these are the guidelines of how you're supposed to come on time to school. Like, this is how to run a transition. This is how we do circle time. This is the standard. Like, this is the way it's supposed to be. So when I come into your classroom, this is what I expect to see. The best way to introduce new programs to staff and get their buy-in, unleashing the greatness of your team, time management strategies, tips, scripts for following through difficult parent conversations, all of that kind of stuff. Scripts can be helpful for different teachers for different reasons. Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. So again, the live event is by application only. So you can check out the page and fill out an application for the live event. Dr. Diaz, who I was just talking about before, she's going to be presenting, and she's going to be talking all about how to script through challenging parent conversations. She's going to be walking you through that whole process, role-playing with you, plus she's going to be giving you her entire blueprint. So there's the blueprint of how to script through those conversations, and then there's another blueprint, which is how to just consistently pour into the parent's emotional bank account. 2 separate, incredible workbooks that are available to you in the vault when you register for the live event. So what do you get when you sign up for the live event? We get 2 days of content and training, guest speakers to help you map out your year. You're all going to be filling out an intake questionnaire so that you're matched with similar schools to help you with your implementation strategy. We're going to have a pre-call before the event where I'm going to be helping you theme your year. We're going to have 2 follow-up support sessions. So, you know, after you create for any of you that have been to conferences before, you know, one of the things is that you come home, you have all these notes, and then you're like, okay, how do I implement this? Like, what do I actually do? So I'm going to be following up with you guys with support calls. My signature workbook with all content, strategies, and your calendar for the year. And then, of course, catered breakfast and lunch. And the vault is where you're going to have your PDFs, your workbooks, your blueprints, all of those things. When you register before Friday, you're also going to be getting access to Effective Meeting Blueprint, the Parent Meeting Roadmap that I was telling you about, the script, the framework, the step-by-step process to plan and meet with parents. The Huddle PDF, which is effortless meetings with your team to meet deadlines. And my newest training on how to become the master of your time and tutorials on how to create your calendar. So just some feedback on Dr. Diaz's session and her framework, which you'll be getting when you register for the live event, is this session was fantastic. I appreciate how she laid out the steps to take before we meet with parents, how to prepare for the meeting. Plus the script she outlined will make the meeting even easier as educators, plus easier for parents to follow the conversation. No more overload of information right at the start of the meeting. Okay, she walks you through that entire process. This looks super. I'll be using it to prepare for a difficult meeting. And another director shared the Dr. Diaz session was like a perfect blueprint, like a math formula that I just plug my situation into, and I know exactly what to do with concerning behaviors starting now. So again, these are just some of the things that directors have shared who have already had access to this incredible blueprint. So again, if you want to sign up for the live event and hear from our incredible speakers, fill out an application. We have less than 15 spots left. Oh my gosh, it's incredible. I'm so excited, cannot wait for the event. So let me know in the comment section. I'm just gonna scroll back up to here. If anyone has any questions about what we spoke about today, let me know in the comments section. If anyone has any questions about the script or if they want access to it or any of that, let me know in the comments. And if not, we will sign out for tonight. All right, awesome. Well, thank you all so much for joining. To register for the live event, fill out an application below. I'll follow up with you personally to share some more details with you. And looking forward to seeing whoever is joining us. All the best. Take care. Bye.